Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up to all my hoodies? Come on in, come on in. Let's get ready for this review that we are about to do. A lot of y'all have already watched the season premiere of Power Book 2 Ghost. And the title of the show was called, y'all know I can't never remember the title of the show. But the title of the show for this premiere was called Your Perception, Your Reality. And I think that was a very good title for the show because some things that we did perceive at the end of last season, it wasn't our reality at all. And that is also the case for um some of the people on the show as well. But we're going to get all into that, right? So make sure you guys come on in and like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. Please and thank you very much. Now, for those of you who have not seen the premiere of Power Book 2 Ghost Season 3 premiere that came on Friday, it is going to be a lot of spoilers in here. But if you want to stick around, feel free to stick around. But yes, it's going to be a lot of spoilers. And if you have anything that you want to say or add to the commentary, please feel free. Hit me up in the chat. Let me know what you think about the different storylines that I'm going to be going over or some of the different characters. So with that being said, let's jump right into it. And again, we're going to be reviewing. This is a review only because at times I didn't have people hit me up on the comments after a video and say, man, that's messed up. I thought this was the actual show. Like, come on now. I'm not trying to get a copyright strike. I always put review in the title when I'm reviewing a show. But then we have people out there who I guess cannot read very well. No shade. No shade. But anyway, so let's get started, y'all. I want to give y'all a little feedback though. But should I give it to you now? I think I'll give it to you later. But okay, so at the beginning of this episode, now they said like 3 months prior. So basically they're referring to like, last season, of course. But in TV time and TV show time, you don't know if this week is a month from next week. But Noma, we met this lady named Noma, who we've never seen before, right? Didn't know of her existence, right? I'm like, who is this lady with this humongous machete? And how does she fit into everything that's been going on in season 1 and season 2? But we saw at the beginning of the show, we saw McLean, giving somebody a nice piece of jewelry to heist. But I can't remember. Y'all gotta help me out, okay? Help me out. Let me grab some water because I feel a little cough coming on. Hold on, child. Y'all gotta help me out because I can't recall how McLean got the jewelry. I can't recall, and I went back and I looked at different videos, and I don't know, child. Hold on, let me take a sip of water here, child. This water cold as hell. But anyway, y'all might have to fill me in and bring that back to my remembrance because I do not remember everything. When you're doing all kind of TV show reviews, you can't remember everything. But I don't recall how he got that piece of jewelry that belonged to Mecca that was supposed to go to Mecca's fiance, which is this Noma, which seems to be a bad bitch, right? But anyway, at the beginning of the show, we saw McLean giving somebody a piece of jewelry. They said it was 3 months ago. Then they immediately fast forwarded to present time, and there was an auction. There was a white guy. He bid it $5.5 million for that ring. I'm like, damn. Is he gonna break that bad boy down and sell it here, sell a piece here, sell a piece there? Because $5.5 million for that blue diamond. It was pretty and everything, but if my man bought me a $5.5 million diamond, I'm like, if you don't go get me like 10 different pieces of jewelry for that amount, or but anyway, the man bought the jewelry. He turned around and proposed to his girlfriend, but the excitement from the happy couple, unfortunately, did not last that long. And I saw that lady. Now, at the time, we didn't know her name was Noma, right? We did not know her name was Noma. And so at that time, I'm like, who is this lady with this machete? And all these goons with her. And it was like she just popped out of nowhere. Just popped out of nowhere. But she wanted that ring back. She said that ring belonged to her. Again, I cannot recall this goddamn ring. I don't know why I can't, but I don't know. Not getting a little sleep, I guess. Working too many hours. Y'all know I was working some crazy hours for months and months and months when I was doing the reviews on this show. So that could be the reason. I'm just thinking of some type of excuse. But anyway, she ended up, the man was like, basically, F off. This is my ring. I bid it for it fair and square, $5.5 million. And you think I'm about to turn it over to you? Not. So he walked off, him and his girlfriend slash now fiance, and the lady with the machete, she basically said, I'm reclaiming what's mine. And she cut off her fingers. Now I was just like, come on now, Noma. You dragging. You was gonna kill her anyway. You was gonna kill him anyway. Why you gotta cut off her fingers? You was gonna kill her anyway. You could have just killed her, save you a little bit of time. Because y'all is out in public doing all this killing with machetes and shooting people and all this kind of stuff. But I was like, why you gotta you could have just killed her and shot her like you did anyway, and then just took the ring off her finger. But anyway, this seems like the type of lady that's really dramatic, as we saw later on in the show. But yeah, we're gonna get back onto Noma in a minute. But in the meantime, in the between time, Noma. What kind of name is Noma? I wonder if it's short for something. But anyway, Monet. Monet, y'all know I love me some Mary J. Blige, and I love her character in this show. I've been feeling her character ever since season 1, episode 1. But Monet, she's still dealing with the loss of her nephew son. That's what I started calling him last season. When we found out that ain't her nephew, we was all trying to figure out who this man's mama, who's his daddy, because something wasn't adding up right. But we did find out last season, I think it was episode 4. Yep, I think it was episode 4 when we found out that Zeke was her nephew's son. So her real son, who she has been having somewhere down in the SIP or Mississippi, Alabama, wherever he was down south. That's where he was at. And we also found out that Mecca, aka Dante Spears, was his daddy, right? So Monet, she's still dealing with, the loss of her nephew's son, Zeke, who was killed at Mecca's hangar. He was about to leave with Mecca. Remember, Monet was supposed to leave with Mecca, but then she changed her mind, kind of like at the last minute, because she was willing to go with him, accept money to help, get Zeke off or get him good attorneys and all this kind of stuff. But then come to find out, she didn't need the money after all. Zeke got off after all, and she changed her mind. She was like, you know what? I need to stay here. I need to be with my family. But Zeke, he had other plans. Once he found out that Monet had lied to him, that his siblings / cousins had also lied to him. Everybody in his world basically lied to him. He's like, man, forget this. I'm out of here, because he I think he thought also that Monet was just in it for, Monet did say that once he makes it big, she did say that the family was getting out of the drug game. So I think that's all Zeke was like, okay, you just using me, for whatever reason, to get you out the game or whatnot. So he decided, he was going to take off with his daddy. And then we saw what happened. He ended up getting killed. It was actually a mistake of identity. It was mistaken identity. But don't nobody really know that right now. Don't nobody really know right now besides Monet's husband, Tahada. Okay, so he was killed at the hands of Tahada, which again was not supposed to happen. Mecca was the one who Tahada was after. Now, of course, if Monet would have been honest with her husband, who had just like recently got released from the pen, if she would have been honest with her husband about her relationship or her affiliation with Mecca and Zeke, and he would have known that Mecca, he was already dead. He was already dead, but he went to the hangar to kill Mecca, and he ended up killing Monet's nephew son. Okay. Now, Tejada, of course, is not trying to have her find out that he's the one responsible for her death, for his death. But again, in defense of Tejada, he's seeing her go through all this pain. He's seeing her beg him and others to find out who's responsible for Zeke's murder. And in defense of Tejada, again, if she would have been truthful, Zeke might still be alive today. He might not want to have shit to do with her ass, especially if he found out that she killed his daddy, his real daddy. Then he probably still didn't want to have shit to do with her ass. But anyway, let's see. Hold on. Okay, now when they first when the detectives, or actually not the detective, but when the lawyer McLean, when he was talking to Monet and them, he basically told him, there were some things that, of course, Mecca made a lot of money. I mean, he had a really nice, expensive penthouse. He had like his own jet. He had cars, jewelry, cash, money. He had all kind of stuff that it would technically be his estate. But being that, most of his assets or all of his assets besides the penthouse was frozen, the only thing that Monet and them could get that was actually would have been handed down to Zeke, but of course Zeke is dead. So Monet being the mother of Zeke, she would benefit from that. So the penthouse was handed down to Monet. Now, what I thought very, very funny was Tejada was like, even behind bars, he was like the man that a lot of people feared and a lot of people respected at the same time. But when Monet was talking to McLean and he was trying to explain to her, why she's getting this penthouse and about the seas, jets, and cars and all that other kind of shit, Monet was like, forget all that. I don't care about all that stuff. All I want to know is who's going to find out who killed my son. And so her husband Tejada was like, I'm sure that the police are doing everything possible to find out who killed Zeke. Monique was basically like, if you don't shut the F up, ain't nobody talking to your ass, nigga. That shit was so funny because normally in any other type of situation, I don't think Tejada would have let her speak down to him like that. But she was like, ain't nobody talking to you. I was like, Tejada was just standing there like, okay. I think Tejada's giving her a pass. Not only because he knows she's in pain, but he knows he's the one responsible. He's the one behind all that pain. And Mo doesn't have any idea that her husband, who she held down all that time when he was in prison, killed her son. Now, why won't he just tell her that? I don't know. Will she still try to kill him if she knew that it was an accident? I don't know, but I ain't never heard her speak to him like that before, and I don't think he's ever heard her either. But like I said again, I think he's giving her a pass. He's letting her slide this time because she's speaking out of pain. But speaking of her pain, I'm sure it is, catapulted by the fact that Zeke didn't find out about his real parents until days before he died. And had it not been for Monet's daughter, Diana, Zeke might have he might have went home to glory without knowing who his real parents were, without knowing that his auntie, the one who was putting him through college and, taking care of him and all that kind of stuff, was his real mama. So he probably would have died not knowing that had it not been for Diana. But Monet don't care about that. She wanted to keep that secret for as long as possible, especially now that her husband was back. What it looked like, this man that we've been dealing with is actually my baby daddy. Uh-huh. But anyway, in the meantime, in the between time, her daughter Diana's getting a cold shoulder from her, from her mother, because she was snitching. And snitches get stitches. So Diana, you lucky because she did threaten to kill her last episode. Now I know she gonna kill her daughter, but she did threaten to kill her because we all know that snitches normally do get stitches. But yes, anywho, Brayden and Tariq in this course correct drug organization. At the end of last season, Brayden's father, had removed him from that private school at Stansfield. After Brayden took the rap, he lied and said he was behind the course correct. So for now, Brayden's dad has him working at Weston Holdings, their family business. And if he's not willing to learn the family business and responsibility, he has to become more responsible. Then his daddy is going to disown him and cut him completely off. Completely off. But I like his uncle, Lucas. Uncle Lucas. I was like, come through for the support. He was like, your dad, which is my brother, he can be a bit much. He can be a bit much, bougie and all that, looking down on people, the brim of his glasses. But Uncle Lucas, he complimented Brayden on how he was hustling at school. He said, had I still been at Stansfield, and found out about some shit, like I would have done that myself. Shoot, they was hustling, they was making money hand over fist. Him and Effie and them and Brayden and them and Tariq and them, they was all making a lot of money. He was like, that was a brilliant idea. But right now, with Brayden working for the family business, he could also end up making a lot of money for them as well, because Brayden's not dumb. Brayden's kind of smart and he's money hungry. He has that hustle. It took him a minute to get there. But we're, being around Tariq and being around Kane and all of them for so long, he's out there. Like, you saw the shit he was doing when he first hooked up with Kane, and Kane said, you and your brother got to get out there and make some money. Y'all remember that? When he literally dropped them off on the corner in the hood and told them they got to sell those drugs. And Kane's brother, Brayden's brother, he didn't do a good job. But Brayden, he was out there hustling his butt off, okay? So it gave Kane a little bit of faith back then with him. But back at Stansfield, Tariq, he was about to find himself kicked out of school and homeless as well. According to Dean Wong, the campus was feeling a little bit unsafe, having Tariq still enrolled there. And I was like, how the heck they feel unsafe when another Tejada has just enrolled at the school? Like, when you see that name Tejada, how you gonna kick Tariq out and leave him homeless? And he is affiliated with the Tejadas, and then allow Diana to enroll in the school. I'm like, okay, how the hell is this gonna work out? Now y'all got now Tariq ain't no Tejada, but he might as well be. Because sometimes Monet do treat him like, her son. But anyway, Tejada, the father, he allowed his daughter Diana to finally enroll in Stansfield, at a time when the school is trying to run Tariq out of there. And had it not been for Rashad with his old shady butt, had it not been for him, threatening Dean Wong and, threatening to tell his supporters, at the rally, how they treat or mistreat, black male students up there, Tariq probably wouldn't have got back into the school. But doing that, of course, making sure Tariq stays enrolled comes with a price. Somehow, some way, Tariq will end up making that up to Rashad. I don't know how, but he said, this ain't free. No, this ain't free. So for now, Tariq, he's still in school. Diana's there as well. And she's rooming with Brayden's sister. I'm like, look at this shit. And they both know who each other is. Diana was like, Google work both ways, sis. Because basically, Brayden's sister, she was acting like she know everything about their family. And I know your daddy is a drug kingpin. He went to prison and this, that. And basically, Diana said, and I know your brother, he basically, said that he was responsible for that drug app Google works both ways, sis. So basically, they both have some kind of unspoken agreement. This one ain't gonna tell their family that they rooming with this one, and this one ain't gonna tell their family that they rooming with this one, because that would definitely be a conflict of interest. Definitely be a conflict of interest, especially when Brayden took the rap, and we all know Tariq was the brains, brains behind the baby, right? But on their first day of class together, Tariq, Diana, they basically realized, for their class discussions, um, that unless someone presents another perception, another perspective of Zeke, then he will always be remembered as a jealous, murderous lover. And we all know that he was not responsible for anybody's murder. He was not the one who killed Professor Milgram. He was not the one that killed the cop. He was not the one that killed Professor Reynolds. A lot of people in the school though, they've been side-eyeing him even after death. Even after death, they've been side-eyeing him. So they realize then at that point that they have to do something. They have to let it be known that he, even if people might not believe them at the school, he didn't have nothing to do with that. He was a good kid. He was a good student. He was on his way to the god doggone NBA, for Christ's sakes. Why would he go over? Okay, anyway. But let's see. How you say that man's name? Kai? Okay, Kai, Kane, and Drew. Okay. Now, being that they, and when I say they, that is Kane and that is Tariq, being that they are about out of the rest of Tejada's products, Kane and his brother Drew, they try to strike a deal with a new connect named Kai, which happens to be somebody very familiar with the family. But familiar or not, Kai wasn't about to give the Tejadas a good deal. Or should I say a fair deal. He wanted straight up cash. What some connects do, some connects be like, okay, you pay me this little bit and I get it on the back end. But nope, he wanted all the money up front, however much they wanted. And then on top of that 60% profit, like they was like, wait a minute, come on now. You basically Kane was like, my father, he basically taught you the ropes. He brought you up in this world. And you trying to get over us like that? He was really trying to get over them. He wasn't trying to show them no love or anything. And I'm thinking, did something go down with Tejada that I can't recall? I'm sure it's something that I can't recall, but it'll come out later. Drew, because Drew then offered 30%. Kai still wasn't willing to negotiate. Instead, he stepped off, gave him a little nice, nasty compliment on the new crib. They staying in a dead man's crib right now. And told them to hit him up when the penthouse is up for a sale. So, but then after that, what's his name? Bash. That's his name, Bash, right? Sebastian. That's his name. His real name is Sebastian. But, he goes by Bash. That's his nickname. So, after running into Bash, Tariq and Brayden, they stopped by the penthouse to speak with Kane about finding a new connect. Kane wasn't really trying to mess with them though, because they so hot right now with this course correct. They are like really hot right now. Basically, Tariq, he's in school by the skin of his teeth. Brayden, he's supposed to be working for the family company right now. He shouldn't even be bothered with them right now because his dad said, I'm going to disown you if you don't take working for the family business seriously. But Kane was like, I'm not really trying to mess with y'all on that. But he wouldn't mind doing business with Effie. And right when Reek and Kane was about to get into it over Tariq's girlfriend, Effie, in walks the lady with the big machete. And her goons, of course. Basically, they was looking for information on who killed her fiance, which again is Micah, a.k.a. Dante Spears, a.k.a. Monet's baby daddy. They walked in and they demanded information. Demanding what happened to Micah, who killed Micah, and why the hell are y'all in his crib? Like, you know how that looks. You know how that looks. She has got to believe that one of them, if not all of them, were responsible for Mega's murder. So right now, the Tejadas are in some knee deep shit right now because not only was Mecca her fiance, he was also her first lieutenant. Therefore, anything that he left behind, whether it's money, jewelry, homes, cars, cash, drugs, whatever, belongs to her. But they'd been putting their hands all in Mecca's shit. So not only were they living in his crib, that nice fancy penthouse, they're also they're also getting rid of his drugs, selling his drugs. Now, of course, none of them are responsible for the murder, but that lady who name we come to find out was Noma. She don't know that. She has no idea. But still she thinks that they're responsible. I mean, it just looks kind of shady. A man died. He has this expensive ass penthouse, and you guys are in here kicking it, throwing parties and all kind of shit. I mean, what is it giving? What is it looking like? You know, that's what she was thinking, I'm sure. But anywho, they got their ass out of this one this time. This time. They were able to convince Noma that they didn't kill him. They don't know what happened to him. And also, they were able to convince her that they worked for him and they could sell more drugs to him. They could push more product to him. They could also protect her from the feds because this is what all Mecca was doing. Mecca was making a lot of money and also she was getting protection from the feds. So she said, if y'all can do that, basically, I'll let y'all live to see another day. Actually, I'll let y'all live to see 30 more days. They got 30 days to prove their worth. 30 days to prove that not only they can push more product as well, you know, what they was doing with Mecca, but also they can protect her from the feds. Tariq was like, we got people in law enforcement, we got people in the government, we got people in the courts. They sounded real convincing, even though one of her goons was like, I don't know who he is, if that's family or one of her henchmen, or I don't know, but he didn't fall for it. He wasn't fall for it. He was like, are you seriously going to believe him? Now, I know I'm not that great at accents, but that's how he sounded. That's how he came across to me. Are you seriously going to believe them that they could do this in 30 days? She was like, well, we can give them a try. If they don't come through, they know what's going to happen. So they got 30 days to show and prove, child. Show and prove to this lady named Noma. Okay, just slide down my notes here. Okay, so back to Bash. Back to Sebastian, aka Bash Kumal Stern, who y'all know is the husband of Papa Stern. That's Simon Stern's husband. And they were working together, but allegedly Bash stole some money from Stern, and he's supposed to be overseas. He's supposed to be out of the country right now. He's not even supposed to be in the US of A, okay? And nobody really knows that he's there besides like a few people like Tariq and Braden and, you know, maybe a few other people. But he's supposed to literally be overseas, you know, after allegedly again stealing money from Papa Stern, from his husband. So, Mr. Bash. You know, with Tariq, it's always one thing or another, one thing after another. Bash is now trying to blackmail him and Braden. With Tariq, he is basically trying to. Okay, so we all know that Bash helped Tariq come up with this system. You know, the course correct system. Bash had no idea that it was a drug app. He really thought it was a learning app. And he knows that Tariq is a real brain behind this app and not Braden. And Braden did, you know, confess and say that he was responsible for it to keep the heat off of Tariq, but Bash knows the truth. And so he's threatening basically to blackmail them for a lot of money. He didn't say how much. He didn't say how much money, but he told Brayden if he don't get him no money, he told Tariq if you don't give me no money, somebody gonna give me some money to keep my mouth shut, or I'm gonna walk my butt down to the police precinct and I'm gonna let them know the truth that Tariq St. Patrick is the one that's really behind that Course Correct app, the drug app, and not Brandon. So they both was, trying to figure out how the best way to handle this. Brayden, he went to Kane and try to convince Kane, this man, we gotta do something. We gotta get rid of him or something like that. Kane was like, I'll help you, but you the one gonna put him down. You the one gonna. And he was like, Brandon was like, but I killed Lauren for you. Remember when he said that? Y'all know how the show ended, right? But at that time, he was like, but I killed Lauren for you. He was like, nah, y'all, nope. You want this man dead? This is you and Tariq's problem, whatever. I'll help you, but you're going to do it too. So when they went up to the man's penthouse or wherever he was staying, Tariq was already there. Tariq was already trying to work out something with him, work out something with Bash so that Bash won't blackmail them and turn him in. But we saw how that ended. Bash was basically like, F you. I ain't trying to work out nothing with you. I want my money. You ain't shit, but this, that, and the third, calling him a not a bum, but calling him a thug, and basically saying he ain't shit, just like his daddy was a shit, and all this. Tariq couldn't take no more and grabbed that knife off the table and just stabbed him all up. So when Brayden and them all walked in and came, the deed was already done. How many bodies now Tariq got? How many bodies do Tariq got right now? And do y'all remember? Remember when Tariq was in jail? Do y'all remember that when Tariq was in jail and he was dreaming or seeing spirits or seeing ghosts or something like that? And remember, somebody had gave him a letter. Somebody had gave him a letter, and it had the executive. It was basically given to Tariq by the executive of his father's estate. In case Tariq had ever got arrested for murder. Do y'all remember that? Now, the I thought it was going to be at that time some great advice, some good advice from his dad. A lot of the time, during Ghost, the original Power TV show, him and Reek always bump heads. But still, I was thinking it's going to be something positive in there, something to give him some encouragement, some great advice. Nope. Instead, the letter said, I knew you'd end up in here, little nigga, right where you belong. Do y'all remember that? Yes, I remember that. And Tariq was in the jail reading that letter like, you mother, like, you ain't shit. That's how he always felt about his dad. But yeah, that happened in season 2, episode 5. But yeah, that's when that had happened. So now, ever since then, I'm like, how many bodies this fool have got now? This boy is just dropping bodies. It's dropping bodies, and he is like, I don't want to say he just like his dad, but he do move like his dad. He's always focused on money. He's always focused on the next dollar, and he's definitely focused on not being caught up, getting away with some of the bad shit that he be doing. And if that takes taking another body out, so be it, right? And those of y'all who are watching, I know it ain't that many people in here, but please like and share the video. Please like and share the video and subscribe if you're new here. But yeah, so Bash, he's already dead. He was dead before they even got there. They got to cover it up. And I'm hoping that killing Bash won't come back to hunt them, because Bash, again, he's supposed to be overseas somewhere, after allegedly stealing from his husband, Papa Stern. So I'm hoping that nobody will really miss him. And I don't know what they plan to do with his body right now, but I'm hoping that nobody miss him or come looking for him, because they don't need that. They don't need that right now, because they have a lot of things going on with that Noma lady. But we'll get back to her. But let's talk about prosecutor Jenny Sullivan and Blanca. Blanca Rodriguez has returned. I didn't think I would ever see her again in season 3. Did y'all? I did not think I would see Blanca in season 3. But anyway, Blanca Rodriguez, the DEA, she is back and she stormed into Sullivan's office demanding to know why she called her boss regarding Dante Spears' penthouse, aka Mecca's penthouse. Now, Blanca, she's been investigating, she's always investigated Tariq, all the St. Patrick's, Tasha, Ghost, all of them. She's always been, trying to get them all locked up for all type of different conspiracies and Ricos and everything. But Blanca is investigating now the murder of her informant, Mecca. And she recognized Tariq in the security footage. But come to find out, also, it was Blanca who allowed for Dante's penthouse to be inherited to see who it would attract. So while we thinking, okay, the penthouse got passed down to Zeke, his son, but since his son is dead, it got passed down to Monet. So that's what they have made it appear to be. But in reality, it does make sense because if everything else was frozen, all the other assets, why would they give her the penthouse? So it does make sense now. So we find out that Blanca was the one who had gave approval for that to be handed over to Monet. Now, Blanca had been keeping from the public that she knows that Tariq was in Dante's penthouse the night he was killed. But she's been keeping that under wraps close to her chest because she don't want to spook Tariq. She don't want him to make any sudden move. She wants him to think that, he's basically got away with something, but still he wasn't even the murderer. But Blanca don't know that. Blanca don't know that because Tariq was there and she knows about Tariq and about Tasha and about Ghost, and she knows they MO. she has reason to believe that Tariq was there to kill Mecca, or he knows something about the murder. So that's basically what she's saying. And he didn't kill her. I mean, he didn't kill him. He knows who killed him. It was Monet. We all know it was Monet who killed her baby daddy. But Tariq didn't do it. But anyway, Sullivan then revealed that she believes that Tariq, Braden, McLean, and the Tejadas are co-conspirators in a criminal network. But she has a CI. And she says this is the reason why she believes that, because she has a CI embedded with all of them. Leaving her to wonder, if Dante, aka Mecca, was Tariq's connect. And if she can prove all that, then she can get them all on a RICO charge. And that is where Blanca is going to help by working with her. So, back to the ending of the show. Is Lawrence Sullivan's CI? Is Lauren, the one who we assume was dead, is she the CI? I mean, always after what we saw last episode at the finale, last season, we thought Lauren was dead. Remember, Brady was supposed to kill her, but he can't do it. So then Effie snatched her away from him, drug her down to the car. So I'm thinking, oh my God, Effie done killed her. Oh my God, Effie done killed old Lauren. Oh Lauren. A lot of people thought Lauren, like her, it's a wrap for her. Like she's out of here. And so did some of her associates. They also thought she was dead too. So is she the CI for Sullivan? Mm-hmm. Things that make you say, in my Arsenio Hall voice. Now, Blanca, she also threw some pictures on Sullivan's desk of Detective Kevin, Whitman. He's been staking out Dante's penthouse. And y'all remember Kevin Whitman? He was like, he's one of those cops who go by the book. He go buy the book. You can't do no crimes without his knowledge because he gonna turn you in. He gonna arrest you. He has always been on a mission to find out who's the murderer of the GTG crew member and Jabari Reynolds, and he had a history with Carrie Milgram. Remember they used to mess around back in the day? Yep, they used to mess around back in the day. So he also thought she had some knowledge, about what really happened to Jabari and what really happened to that MTG, gang member or whatever. But yeah, he's back. He's back in action. He's back in part in season 3, of course. And Tariq and I better watch out because that cop, he's like a fucking dog on a stake, like on a. He's like, what do you call them damn dogs that them dogs that they use to sniff out bodies and drugs and stuff like that. That's how he is when it comes to Tariq and them. But anywho, the last thing I wanted to discuss, of course, Zeke's memorial service. And no, they didn't have my girl Little Mo singing a tribute to Zeke. Ooh, I love me some Little Mo. I think she did an amazing job. She did a fantastic job. I haven't heard Little Mo sing in a long, long time, right? Now, some of y'all might think I'm biased because of the fact that I do really love her. But I think she did a great job. She was singing It's So Hard to Say Goodbye to Yesterday by Boyz II Men. And again, I might be biased, but she sounded great. But besides her performance, it was also nice to hear Tariq, truly honor Zeke by letting the audience know, letting the guests know that Zeke is no killer. He was like, Zeke is a good dude. He wouldn't do anything wrong. He was a great student. He was a great, brother, son, cousin, friend. And also on his way to become an NBA basketball star. He was like amazing, talented, and everything. So Tyree tried to bring that across, to the people who was guest at the memorial service. And I thought that was really nice because remember, they have been talking about that in class and saying how if they don't change the perception or the perspective of Zeke, his untimely death, then people will always think he's just some murderous, jealous, scorned lover who killed Carrie, Professor Milgram. So I like how he did that. But Monet, after receiving Zeke's jersey, she couldn't handle the services anymore. She was just really like sad and devastated. And she ran out of there crying, feeling horrible. I can imagine because of the guilt that she, was carrying for so many years. The guilt from keeping a secret from her nephew's son that she, in fact, was his mother. And then with all the rage that she has for Zeke's killer, who she has yet to find out who that is, but we know it's her husband. And because of that, Tejada should be shaking in his boots. Because after the service, Monet made Tariq promise to find out anything he can about Zeke's murder. Because she doesn't feel like Tejada is doing enough. Like Tejada is like, before he went to jail or went to prison, he's the man. He's the man. He's the one who put down the smack down through their city, put down the laws and the rules and all that kind of stuff, in the hood and everything. People respected him, feared him, all that. And he could probably easily get information if he really wanted information. Hell, he was doing that in prison. But now that he's out and her own son's blood has been shed, he ain't really helping her find out who did it. And of course, we know why. Because he's the one responsible. But anyway, so Tariq, he promised her if he hears anything, he'll keep his eyes open, his ears open, to try to find out what happened to his, to her son. So I'm looking forward to season 3, episode 2, next week to find out if Tariq or anybody gets any kind of hint that it is in fact Tejada. I'm looking forward to see how Tariq and them is going to get distribute or get rid of, sell all those drugs that Mecca had left behind. That was a lot of drugs. And Effie, she was telling Tariq, are you sure you want to work with Kane and Braden? Like, who the hell else? Y'all need more than that to move all them drugs, all that y'all got 30 days. 30 days. That lady with the big machete is not playing with y'all. Y'all better move all that product in 30 days. Now, the thing is, if they do, well, they end up really having a working relationship with this lady named Noma. And who is she really? Besides just Maka's fiance, we know that he was her first lieutenant. I think she actually has a bigger role than just that. So I'm looking forward to finding out that. And I'm also looking forward to finding out why they kept Lauren hidden away, stashed away in protective custody. Is she really the CI? That's what I'm looking forward to finding out. So on that note, everybody, again, thank you for joining me this evening. To the few who came in, please like, share, and support. Thank you so much. Also, stay safe, be blessed, remain vigilant at all times, and always remember to keep it hood. Bye.